Hi there, welcome to Nighttime Line Talks. Why? Because we are in the south of the USA where people go and ask for a Copenhagen and a mellow jello. I am drunk, but the big chicken is up there. Is the land of the rednecks. Is the first impression I have when I moved to Georgia. Why they call them rednecks for people who is not from Georgia? Well, they are blue-collar workers, people that works mostly construction and other places, and then the sunlight burn their necks, and they have the neck red all day long because they are exposed for long time periods or long periods of time to the sunlight. Sorry, I talk in Spanish, I translating into English. Sometimes it's confused. Speak three different languages. I apologize. And what happens is Georgia is populated by a big average of people from all over the world. There are a lot of Hispanics, Mexicans, a lot of people from India and Pakistan, a lot of people from Asia, China, Korea, etc. A lot of Europeans, people from France and other places. But when we are talking, the internationals in school places or when you are exposing your experiences about what caught your attention when you moved to Georgia is that the rednecks, very nice people. Everybody likes them because they are hard-working people, but it's so funny because their accent is unique. Unique. And in fact, the other day I went into the mountains in Dahlonega, Georgia, and I saw the redneck kit survival that has a tobacco can. The rednecks, they buy tobacco and plenty of stuff that they only consume. Nobody else uses it. And it's why when you are waiting a gas station to pay in the past, now many people pays at the pump, and they say, oh, let me have a can of Copenhagen, a mellow jello. The Copenhagen is the brand of the tobacco can, and the mellow jello is a popular drink. Very, very well liked by rednecks. And that is a funny part to start the program and tell you that I love rednecks. And they like people call them rednecks because that make them unique. NASCAR racers, very popular here in the south of USA, are loved by rednecks. Many, many things. But today we are exchanging that unique experience of being international, living in a foreign country like USA, very, very important for many of us in the times when we have to understand how to survive difficult times like the pandemic times. Why? Because in other cultures, social distance is almost impossible. In America, they apply social distance. You only see your neighbor in special occasions. Otherwise, you don't see your next door neighbor anymore. Number one. Number two, Americans don't shake hands mostly, only in important events, a closing of a business or something like that. Otherwise, it's just hi, hi, and that's it. And for example, in Latin America, in my native Mexico, oh, we kiss each other. Hi, hello. We give a big hug to everyone. In fact, we make a friend part of the family. And it's part of our culture. And it's a situation that is happening in many countries. All Latin America, people people say hello with a kiss and a hug. Now it's almost impossible. Some friends come over to visit, and I forgot we are in the quarantine and we cannot be exposed. Oh, sorry, we cannot hug, we cannot kiss. Okay, we have to learn from this. But at the end of the day, we have a big lesson. Many occasions, my friends criticize me because I leave my shoes, my street shoes, at the entrance of the house. And walking into the house, I wear a different shoes only for indoors. Why I do that is because I always try to protect my family, and I don't like to bring bacteria and viruses inside the home. In fact, let me show you. Here we go. It is what I wear at home and only at home. I never go out with these shoes. And very often I wash them with alcohol or Clorox because before this problem of the pandemic happens, I was thinking about how to keep safe my wife, my son, in a situation that we are not prepared for. And you saw all over the news, President Trump, authorities are preventing everybody all the time against the social contact. Because the social contact is the first source of transmission on this pandemic. So avoid all the time the social contact. Authorities have not enough space in hospitals to take care of the big average of people that report positive after the test or that feel the symptoms and they say, oh, I'm feeling the fever, I'm feeling ill, I feel my stomach in bad shape. We must do something. Then we have to take care of every step. Sorry guys, we have an important news break and I have to attend in order to follow up because as you know we have this program on air, but we also have a version in Spanish with our affiliates and I have to process the news break. President Trump is announcing, beside the Army generals and Marines and the Department of Justice, alerting all the authorities in all the United States ports, borders, everywhere, that the intelligence, the American intelligence detect drug cartels trying to approach the distraction of the authorities to attend the coronavirus pandemic and smuggle drugs and people into the United States. Apparently, a couple operations reveal that the drug cartels were trying to do that, and the White House has an alert report from the intelligence agencies, and they stop. The story is live all over the networks. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see all over the networks are broadcasting live right now announcing the special operation of the armed forces in course to assist the coronavirus process, but parallel to it, they will not allow drug cartels smuggle or bring more drugs into the American territory. And we were talking about the effect of using the tradition of rednecks on this territory. We are in the south of the US. And when I arrived at the end of the 1980s, I still saw the remains of the sad racial situation that America lives. But I was telling you that I have learned in a museum, in a very tiny frame that says, here in Georgia, don't use the word picnic, because picnic means that, pick a nigger. And that means that the owners of the farms and plantations go to the rail station with the family. They prepare food and they go on Sundays with the family, and the train stop with the slaves and they make an auction. Very sad. And owners of plantations bid for slaves. What a sad thing. I feel so bad. Anyway, the situation is that since that I'm not using that word. Every time we are going to have an outdoors activity, we say, let's go to have a cookout. And we go outdoors and cook and have fun with the family. We play music, we play games, and we eat a lot. I can see now. And what happens is the meaning of this program is approach this time to invite you to don't use that word anymore. And it's so sad because I used to live in California and nobody in California mentioned this before. Nobody in other states mention situations or facts on this regard until I arrived to Atlanta and visit the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Museum. Highly recommended to you. And right now is a national celebration and is a national place. And also what I like to mention is that I am so glad that situation is over, but some ill people still use that situation to affect colored people. And the reason why I bring this to your attention now is because Hispanics, Latinos, we are suffering the same way African Americans live, underpaid, very extreme hard workloads, no benefits, no rights, and it's sad, but happens in the country leader in justice and human rights. Still a lot of things happen, and we must to do our part to stop that situation and educate our kids to don't allow anyone use abusive language, don't allow to anyone to diminish our rights. Everybody has rights on this country, in the world, and it's important to keep that in mind. And especially in Georgia. Somebody told me, Francisco, Coca-Cola put Atlanta on the world map location. And I say no. The first time I heard in my life the name of Atlanta was listening a story about Dr. Martin Luther King. And the person shut their mouth and told me, you're right. You are completely right. That is the truth. And then it's a nice experience live in the south of USA and educate your kids here. But as well is important to show to your kids the education of this part of the country, meaning museums, meaning history, meaning many things. One of the things we try to do all the time with our son is that he has to learn the culture on both sides of the border. The culture here in Georgia, and also learn the history on Mexico and Latin America. That is crucial to develop on your kid's mind the importance of being open mind, especially right now that many jobs don't require only a college degree, a bachelor degree. They require a second and third language in order to hire people to follow up on the hiring process. So these facts are important. And as I mentioned the jokes at the beginning, and I give my apologies to the rednecks, I love all of them. They are very smart people, very good hunters, very good hunters. They love to hunt. I don't like to hunt. I feel very depressed if I kill an animal. I cannot sleep for 10 days. So everyone has their own experiences on life. But talking from the cultural perspective is nice, and I appreciate the opportunity to live in this area of the United States of America. And to my American friends, I highly recommend it. Don't use that word anymore, because nobody mentioned, and I was telling you, if Atlanta is the headquarters of Coca-Cola, the most drink soft drink in the world, they must put a label on every can, every bottle. This soda is to enjoy a cookout day, in order to change the new generation minds, and you don't use that word anymore. I have to go, but it's my pleasure to host this microphone and share this information with you. As I told you, I apologize for my heavy accent, my broken English. Someday I will talking like a redneck, asking for a mellow jello and a can of Copenhagen. Probably, but it's funny. Thank you so much. Lord bless you. Lord bless America. Lord bless the world. And I talk to you tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day.